Good morning, folks. Jason Chrisman, JC's Bees, your Central Ohio beekeeper. I had a question yesterday from Beautiful Adventures on the differences in overwinter feeding. And there's basically 3 different styles of overwinter feeding, and I wanted to break them down a little bit. First, you have your candy boards, which is basically sugar, a little bit of water. Some people add vinegar and maybe some essential oils. Once this is made and sets up, candy boards get hard. And to my opinion, since they've already got the moisture in them, they do not wick or absorb moisture in the colony very well. But they are a great source of food for the colony to keep them alive. That's one method, candy boards. The second option is your mountain camp method, which is dry sugar. Dry sugar is great at being a sponge and absorbing moisture in the colony. There's a couple drawbacks to feeding dry sugar though. One, you can't put the dry sugar in too soon. Like if I would put my dry sugar in today, this week we're going to be experiencing what we call Indian summer, where we get warmer weather. We're going to be in the 60s. So let's say I put my dry sugar on today. Put me in a piece of newspaper. First of all, I add my shim to allow for the dry sugar. Then I lay in my newspaper and pour in some dry sugar. Well, what's going to happen is the bees are too active right now, so they're going to see the newspaper and the sugar and think this shouldn't be in here, and they're going to work to remove it. So with the dry sugar method, you don't want to really install that until mid to late December, depending on the weather at the time and whether you think it's going to stay cold. The other thing about the mountain camp method is bees cannot consume dry sugar. It has to have moisture in it. So to put dry sugar on a colony, think this is going to be great, they're going to have something to eat because their food stores are low. Well, unless there's been some moisture built up in the colony and the bees have forced it up to the sugar, the bees aren't going to be able to consume it. So dry sugar needs moisture for bees to eat it. The last option is fondant, and I don't have any experience feeding fondant. As you've seen in my video yesterday, I asked if anybody had experience, but I have done a little bit of reading about it, and what I've found is certain types of fondant, I guess it's made a few different ways, if it gets warm enough, can actually drip between the frames and make a big gooey sticky mess. So that leads me to think the same with fondant as the dry sugar. Don't offer it too soon. Or if you do offer it soon, maybe find some kind of a thin tray that doesn't have a big wall on the side for the bees to have to climb over. Get something shallow maybe and put your fondant on that. That's kind of what I'm thinking for myself anyway. That way if we do get a warmer day, the fondant doesn't go from the big formed piece that it is, which usually it looks kind of like a cake, the ones I've seen anyway. That doesn't break its form and start oozing everywhere in the colony, because I could see that becoming a serious mess. So that's your 3 different ways to feed bees over the winter. They kind of each have their own drawbacks, so you have to really think about it and think what works best for you. In the past, the dry sugar or the mountain camp method has done wonders for me. Food source, it absorbs the moisture in the colony. That's everything I need. The problem is now is I've got some nukes that are going to need food before the dry sugar can come into play in mid to late December. So thinking fondant for them with a thin tray like I mentioned. So if you have any more insight on the 3 different feeding methods, please leave them down below. They could help teach a lot of new beekeepers the differences between those 3 methods. So thanks. I hope this video has been helpful. And when I seen the question yesterday, I thought, you know, that's worthy of a short little video right there. So here's the video. Have a great week, folks, and we'll see you Sunday.